Alright, as Lord Songa was quick to point out, I probably do need to explain what's going on with this whole system, because it's kind of complicated if you know nothing about it whatsoever. So I'm just going to go through all this and explain things, and I don't know how long it will take. Hopefully it'll be one video. Anyways, this is humanity, as Jack will explain in part 2, or 3, whichever. Humanity is, how human you are, how human you appear, how non-bestial you are. If you drop to 0 humanity, you can't play the game anymore. Because at that point, you're a wild beast who can't control himself. So you will kind of really want to be topped off on your humanity as much as you can be. And every evil act that you do that's heinously evil, like killing innocents, will make you lose a humanity point, but good acts will make you gain them. So, you can stand to lose a couple because you might regain them later. These are something called the Masquerade. The Masquerade is something that it's the whole dance and political intrigue thing that the vampires have going on, and it's their way of keeping human beings from knowing that vampires exist. So here, these are how many Masquerade violations you can have. If you lose all your Masquerade violations, you will lose. And the more Masquerade violations you lose, the more hunted you become. Like, you'll be walking down the street and all of a sudden human hunters will come down and try and attack you, or other kindred will try to do it because you are ruining things for everybody else by making people understand that there are real things such as vampires. Okay, now we're going to go on to the attributes. First, you have a pairing of physical attributes. The first one being strength, which boosts your unarmed and melee combats, making you stronger. Dexterity makes you harder to hit. It should anyway. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. It may help you sneak and lockpick. I'm sorry, I'm losing my burnt mind here. Oh, stamina helps you absorb damage. Just bashing damage, so bullets and blunt weapons only. Charisma. This helps you in persuasion. I got this one. I put a point extra. I put my 1 point of social skills that I got into charisma for persuasion because a lot of this game is dialogue and socializing, so it's helpful to be able to persuade people to believe the way you believe. It's helpful in a lot of cases, believe me. Next is manipulation. It's for haggling. That's it. It lowers the cost of items and as you sell items for more. And I always found myself rolling in money, so I never found the real use for it. Appearance helps you with seduction. This can actually be helpful because there are several humans throughout, I think, every stage that you can seduce for blood. It's a masquerade-free feeding. Apparently everyone thinks you're having sex. I don't know. But, yeah, you seduce them and drain blood off them. And you can do that quite often, so they're like your own little blood bank. But I probably won't do it too much because I never get my appearance up that high. Alright, perception helps your ranged combat and your inspection. I put a point in that because ranged combat is really nice to have, and so is inspection. It helps you. Inspection is good because usually, like, some items won't glow. Like if you watch later on, there's a lockpick that I find and it's glowing. That's because my perception was high enough for it to glow. If you don't have high enough perception, the item doesn't glow, and you just have to kind of stumble upon it on accident instead of the game telling you it's there. Alright, intelligence helps you with research and intimidate. I don't care for intimidate, so I didn't put a point into it. And research, it's much easier to go down and get the scholarship skill instead of boosting your intelligence. It costs me less experience, which I'll get to here in a second. Alright, the Wits helps your defense and your hacking. I put a point in that because both of those are vitally important. Defense, of course, helps you not get hit. Hacking helps you hack computers, and that can get you through almost every puzzle in the game. Well, towards the beginning anyways, but so I put a point into it for hacking. Anyway, these are your abilities. The first grouping is talents. which is more your brawling, which is unarmed combat. Dodge, which is your defense, of course, which I put a point in that because defense is important. Intimidation helps intimidate, of course. Subterfuge helps with seduction, and it had a lot more uses in the actual tabletop game of lying and doing some other things like that, but they kind of dumbed it down a little bit. They had to. You couldn't implement everything that was in the tabletop game. Okay, now on to our skills abilities. Firearms helps with ranged attack, obviously. Melee helps with melee attacks, obviously. Security helps you with lockpicking, which you use it quite a bit as well, so I put a point in it. Why not? And stealth helps you sneak. And sneaking is vitally important in this game. If you want to get through places easy, sneaking is very important to have. Okay, now your knowledge is computer knowledge. That's hacking. Like I said, hacking gets you through a lot of stuff in the game, so I put a point to it. Finance is haggle. The haggle skill, which, as I said, is near useless, so I didn't get that. Investigation helps with inspection, which was already high for me, so I didn't care to put a point to it. And scholarship helps with research and persuasion. I would have got it for persuasion alone, but the research also helps because research, you'll find books throughout the game that can boost a skill if you can read it. But to read it, you have to have a certain level of research skill. And I think they start out at 4 and go up from there, I think. Don't hold me to it, though. And here are disciplines. These are clan-specific. Your clan that I picked was Malkavian. So I have Auspex, which lets you see people's auras within a certain range for so long. And as you put more points into it, it boosts skills like Wits, Perception. It increases the distance you can see guys and how long the thing lasts. At the max points, it adds 3 to Wits, 3 to Perception, and reveals everybody for way out, and lasts 36 seconds, which is a long time. But the discipline I'll be focused on most of the game is Dementation. It's the Malkavian only discipline, and this is where you make people insane. Like point 1, you spend blood. Oh yeah, I need to explain that too. All these disciplines, you have to use blood to use them, and the stronger they are, the more blood it takes. But the disciplines I have right now is for Dementation. The first one is Hysteria, which makes it where a person can't act. They just sit there laughing hysterically. And they can't do anything else until the spell runs out, or you try to hit them. The next one is Mass Hallucination, which is, it takes more blood, but everyone around you takes -2 to firearms, melee, brawl, and defense, and a defense against feeding, which is very helpful because you'll be outnumbered a lot of the time. And since I don't put much into combat skills, I need every little thing I can get. And the third discipline is Obfuscate, which is Invisibility. This one can get really good as you go along. Like at first you can hide, but you have to be holding still, and if you move, you pop out of invisibility. The next one is you can crouch and move while invisible, but if you touch stuff, the visibility breaks. This one is you can perform stealth kills while invisible, and it won't break your stealth. And you also get a version of sneak attack, which you do more damage if you hit somebody while you're invisible. This one you can move freely, but you can't interact with the environment and touch people, and you do more damage if you hit somebody out of stealth. This one is you may move freely and interact with the environment, but it still gets broken if you touch somebody. And any melee attack will do triple damage if you're invisible while you do it. So it helps. Now, as I was showing, these things all cost experience points. I have 2 experience points for doing the tutorial. Physical attribute, all these attributes here take 4 experience points times how many dots you have. So, for instance, I have 1 dot here in stealth and strength, so to boost it, I would have to spend 4 experience. But in charisma, I have 2 dots, so to boost it 1, I would have to spend 8 experience because it's 2 dots times 4 experience is 8. Yeah. Skills are 3 per dot, and they work much in the same way. For this one, I have 2 dots, so 2 times 3 is 6, so I need 6 experience points to get the third dot. Disciplines, they are 5 per dot and work in the same way, so this second dot will cost me 5, this third dot will cost me 10. But since I have the completely batshit flaw for my character, my obfuscates cost 8 per dot. So this dot will cost me 8, this one will cost me 16, and so on. If you don't want to deal with all that in this game, they have turn auto level on, which can help you out. I find it's very harmful, actually, because they want you to play some way I don't like to play. They want you to get, well, some firearms and melee stuff boosted up immediately, like as quickly as possible, and that doesn't help you in the beginning. You only really need combat towards the end of the game. Up till then, you can get away with poor combat skills and having just a lot of social skills.